Hey love bugs, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. Today I am really excited. I have a super fun video for you all. So a few weeks ago I did like a little makeup tutorial-ish video and I didn't do too bad, but I definitely could have done much better. So since that video, I've done a lot of research on like makeup and how to do it, how to do like a more like clean, perfected, flawless base. I have tried out a few different types of products and added a few products to my daily routine. And y'all, I really think that I got it now. Like, I really think that I have perfected a base. I think the main thing is I was going too fast and I was rushing and I didn't have the right colors. Some products weren't the best, so I've been testing out a few different things, y'all, and I'm excited to show you my updated routine, if you will. I don't do this every single day, but if I really want to get super glammed up but still keep it as like an everyday look and not do like super wild colors, like if I want something really neutral, natural, and just cutesy and glam, real beautiful, then I will do this routine. So today's video is basically going to be my updated everyday makeup routine. So I am just gonna get right into it. Whew, I'm excited, y'all. So I have already prepped and primed my face, of course, like washed it, moisturized, primed, all that good stuff, which before I did not use primer. I literally just used moisturizer. So now we're using primer, girl. Let me zoom in real quick. Okay, so I zoomed in a little bit and actually, let me just do this because this will be probably so much easier. The hair is gonna be out of my face, all that good stuff. I look crazy. So one of the things that I changed is I now use a little blender sponge. It's just a cheap little makeup sponge that came in a pack. I didn't used to use that in my old video. I literally used to use my hands because I thought that it gave better coverage, but come to find out this actually does. And whenever I used it in my last video, I wet it with water. I am now wetting it with Urban Decay All Nighter Ultra Glow Setting Spray. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start by spraying the sponge. And today I'm actually going to mix two foundations. One is a foundation, one's actually a tinted moisturizer. So I'm still using the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Natural Radiance Foundation. This is in the color Isla, which I kind of want to try a different color because, I don't know, this one might actually be too pale. Like, I think the undertone is right, but I don't know. Or maybe it's just the fact that it's like super full coverage. I don't know, but we're gonna be mixing this with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer in the color Fair 3W. The only reason why I'm mixing this, honestly, is one, for the color, but two, let me open up my mirror. Two is also for the finish to kind of be a little bit different. Because the tinted moisturizer is super dewy, and I love dewy, but I find when I do dewy, it doesn't really last. So I'm trying to find like a full coverage makeup routine that I can do that's still like slightly dewy. I have my foundation all the way on, and I know I look crazy right now because it's all over my lips, but honestly, I don't even worry about this part. I literally just trust the process, and 99.9% of the time, nobody sees the craziness other than me while I'm doing my makeup. So ignore that. We're gonna look crazy right now. The Juvia's Place foundation is cool, but when I tell you, like, the foundation literally gets everywhere, all in and out throughout the bottle. It's just a mess. But next, we're going to do just a basic layer of concealer. I'm still using the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer number 05. What is this, Fair? It's Ivory. And this is actually something that I saw on YouTube. I was using the same color concealer for everything. The only time that it would ever change really is if my skin color ever changed, like summer versus winter. But the girl that I saw on YouTube, and I wish I remembered her name, she basically said that when you're doing your base, one thing, and this concealer is almost out, but one thing that you need to keep in mind is where you're placing the concealer and the color of the concealer. So before you like contour and highlight and all that good stuff, you need to have a concealer color that is the same color as your foundation. That way, this step is basically like to cover any blemishes. And right now I'm really breaking out. So that's why I went with number 5, because this step is not meant to highlight or brighten or anything. It's literally just to even out the tone. That way we can have a super clean base. And I think the setting spray honestly has helped a lot throughout the process of me doing my makeup, because I'll spray it every single time, like before I do a wet product. So foundation, concealer, all that good stuff. And I think it's really helped. Definitely has helped with the longevity of my makeup for sure. So we're just gonna pat that in. And I just place it under my eyes, kind of in like my T-zone. And then of course, like if you have any breakouts anywhere, you can apply it there as well, which I think that I'm pretty good. Y'all know I do my makeup kind of backwards from everybody. So after I've gotten that layer taken care of, I'm now gonna work on my eyebrows. Combing out my brows. And I still use the Anastasia Dip Brow in the color Taupe. And I'm just gonna take a basic angled brush and use that. I basically just underline my brows, leaving maybe like a ½ inch off like the front. I start doing an underline, go back, start kind of, you know, a ½ inch from the front, overline it, and then fill it in from the middle outwards, because then I'm going to take that same eyebrow brush / spoolie, whatever you want to call it, and I'm just going to brush out the front to kind of like fade it out a little bit. That way it's not so harsh. After I have it blended out, I'm going to take that same number 05 Fit Me concealer, put some on the back of my hand, and just use like a flat brush and just kind of conceal around my brows. So I have been trying to use more cream and liquid based products, but somehow like mix it with powder and like dry products. And I found out that like I was focusing too much on the dry products. So I was doing like dry powder under my eyes to try to get like a white finish. I was putting on too much blush, too much bronzer, and it just was giving like a really chiseled jawline that I didn't like. And it didn't look super seamless, super flawless. It was looking too cakey, too dry. And I was trying to kind of like counteract that with setting spray, and that wasn't really working. So I figured out that if you use cream products like a cream blush, this is just a mini Ilia sample thing. Where's the box that I got from Sephora as my birthday gift? But if you use cream products as a base to kind of put the color on your face first, and then you put the powder on top, it doesn't look as cakey and it gives you a more vibrant, like dewy look. So what I've been doing is taking this Ilia blush. This is the At Last Multi-Stick, which I guess you can literally use it for everything, not just blush, and just kind of like placing it on my finger just to kind of warm it up a little bit. And then I'm going to blend it between my two fingers and apply it to my cheeks. Now, another thing that I learned on TikTok, I think, is if you kind of put it higher up on your cheekbones instead of just on the apples of your cheek and kind of blend it into your under eye, it'll give you a more, I guess, like Instagram flawless model makeup look. So let me see if I can kind of demonstrate that for y'all. And I do 2 layers of this. So the first layer is just going to be in my normal spot, like on the apples of my cheeks, and I'm just going to blend it upwards. And I honestly love this color. It's so gorgeous. And it's super, super dewy, very rosy pink. I'm going to put a little bit more on my finger. I'm gonna have to buy the full size version of this because this multi-stick is amazing. Even though I've only used it for blush, but I can only imagine how gorgeous it would look everywhere else. So I have more on my fingers. Now I'm just going to put a little bit under my eye, and I'll show you why in just a moment. Keeping in mind that I'm not placing it where I placed my concealer, I'm just blending it really high up and into my hairline. So with this amazing concealer, I'm just going to take the applicator to apply it. And the reason why I applied the blush first is kind of hard to explain, but you'll see what I mean in a moment. It just blends so much better. It gives a more seamless transition from the super white under eye to the color on the rest of the face. And it just looks, girl, it just looks good. Just do it, just do it. So I'm going to kind of do like a triangle shape. And this brush absorbs a lot, so be careful when you're applying this. Normally I like to let my concealer sit, but this is not the type of concealer to be doing that. And I have just been applying it to under my eyes and on the bridge of my nose. A little does go a long way with this. I'm going to spray my sponge again. And the difference between this and last time, I think I was putting the light concealer on my chin, like all around my lips, underneath my cheekbones, and on my forehead. That was doing too much because I thought that I was highlighting all the super cute spots, but come to find out, I was just making my entire face look way too white, and it ended up being lighter than my body. But I'm going to start actually with my nose. And I don't contour my nose, but I do think that this makes my highlighter look a little bit better. I've tried contouring my nose and I just don't think that it looks good on me, but that's okay because what works for some might not work for others, and that is totally fine. Now I'm going to blend my under eye, trying to focus the concealer in the same spot. Like I don't want to drag it too far down, but I definitely want to blend it into the blush. Kind of blend it outwards a little bit. Okay, so I don't know if y'all can tell, but this already just looks so much cleaner, just way smoother, just overall. Now, after I'm done with that, I will go right into the under eye powder. And another major game changer has been to not use a brush when applying the powder under my eye, but use like a blender sponge. Y'all, I saw this on TikTok. I ended up ordering it off of Shein, and I was like, oh, I see like the TikTok girlies using it. Let me give it a shot, because it literally, I think, was like 12 of them for like 20 cents or something like that. So I was like, I really can't go wrong with it. But this has been a freaking game changer. Like, this has allowed my makeup to stay all day. I mean, if I do my makeup early in the morning, like 6, 7, 8 in the morning, it will last past midnight. So before you put on your powder, you want to just take your sponge and just make sure that there are 0 creases in the concealer, because this will make a difference on how it sets. So you just want to make sure that there's absolutely no creases. And I'm using the same Revolution translucent powder. It's the baking powder, although I don't bake my concealer or bake my under eye powder. But right now, that's the powder that I'm using. Even though I don't feel like this is the best powder, I still want to see if I can scout out a better under eye powder. But this is what I'm using for right now. And I'll just kind of go around the crease of my nose and underneath my eye. And I'll do a few layers of that. Sometimes I tap off the sponge. Sometimes I blow it off. That way the layer of powder that is on it is even. And just make sure you get all around your eye. And I'll just kind of blend it out to my hairline. And I'll do the same thing to the other side. And make sure when you're doing this, you are not dragging any of your brushes, any of your sponges. You just want to press and pat it into the skin. And I was dragging too much when I was doing my makeup, and I realized that that was also causing my base to be splotchy and patchy. And I'll just do like a few layers of powder, honestly. Just keep going back and forth and just making sure that it's nice and even. And I think before too, I was putting too much powder all over my face. In the wrong areas, the wrong amount. And then like any leftover, I'll just kind of go on my nose, go around my mouth. In the corners of my mouth especially. And then I'll also just kind of take it and just press it into the middle of my forehead and just kind of blend it out like that. Sometimes I'll take powder, blow some off, and just kind of go like that. And then any extra, set it over your brows. That was another thing that I learned on TikTok. Set it over your brows, which makes so much more sense because I use the dip brow pomade or gel or whatever you want to call it, and I put powder on top of it. So why not do this step as well, because it'll just make it last longer. Once that is done, I'll then take my bronzer, which I'm literally running on E, but I'm using the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronze It in the color 01 Light. Again, I'm almost done. Like, I'm scraping it off the sides at this point, but I haven't been able to go to Ulta. So for right now, we're just gonna be struggling. And I start on my forehead. Let me see if I can prop my mirror up. I start on my forehead and I literally just tap it into the skin. And a lot of times, depending on the type of look, I'll build up my bronzer and blush. It really just depends on like what I'm going for. And when you tap it, it makes it easier to be able to blend it into everything else because it doesn't give a harsh line. Sometimes I'll blend it near my eyebrows like this, but I try not to do too much of that. At least not for the first layer. Like once you get a layer on and then you're just building up the color, sometimes I'll do like a sweeping motion, but I'll still try to do it with a light hand and not drag it on my face. And I'll also put some on the bridge of my nose, but also just tapping that in there. That way you can kind of control the color. And then another thing too that I've changed is before I was cutting my jawline or my cheekbones out with the cream products and it was becoming too chiseled, and then like once I would put on the dry powder products, I would then try to blend it out, and at that point it's too late because you're setting it at that point. And it was causing like a super muddy look, or I was gonna have to just like stick with the over contoured cheekbones. So what I'll do is swirl some of the bronzer on my brush, tap it off really well, and just kind of press it above my cheekbones and then blend it out into my forehead. And I do kind of like a blending, sweeping motion onto my eyelids as well, because it kind of gives like an eyeshadow type look. And I'm pressing upwards, like I'm keeping the brush at an angle. And you want to make sure that you only go about halfway, because then you're gonna look crazy if you bring it too far down. You just want to keep it in like the hollows of your cheekbones. And at this point, this is when like I start to build all of the product and all of the color. And I will do a light sweeping motion right here just to kind of get like a flawless blend. But I'm not carving out my cheekbones, if that makes sense. I'm kind of putting it like above my cheekbones. And I love this because you can still see the cream blush that I put on. I'll try to blend out my forehead a little bit. I need to get one of those makeup headbands because my hair sticks to my face during this step. I try to blend as close as I can to my eyebrow. That way it kind of doesn't have like that brow shadow, you know, where it's like white around your eyebrow from the concealer. But you can also fix that with powder once you're done with this step, which I'll probably end up showing y'all in a moment. And to get a super glam look, someone on TikTok also suggested to do bronzer like on your neck and all that good stuff. So we're gonna be doing that today. So I'm going to take some bronzer and you're just going to do a light layer on your neck, which I hadn't really thought about this before, but I guess it makes sense. And they said to kind of blend it into your jawline. And this, not this step, but I guess like this part of the process is more of like going back and forth and blending all of the products together. Okay, and so once I'm pretty good with the bronzer, next I'm going to do my highlighter, which I switched back to a super old highlighter. I'm honestly not even sure where I got this, but it's Makeup Obsession highlighter slash illuminator. And I don't even know what color this is for real, but it's like a white and gold. And before I was using like a straight white-ish champagne type highlighter, and I realized that that doesn't always complement my skin, but rather more of like a goldy champagne color. And unlike my concealer and blush, I actually do this backwards now. I'll do my highlighter, then my blush, because again, I just feel like it just blends easier and it just looks a little more seamless. And right here, I don't cake on as much highlighter as I used to, and I'm not bringing it under my eyes. I'm not bringing it all the way out. I'm not bringing it to the front of my cheekbones. I'm just keeping it on the outer edge and doing a light sweeping motion. I'll do it on the bridge of my nose, kind of under my eye, like a little V shape, and then also above my lips. I'll do that to apply it, and then this way to blend it out. And a huge difference in my old video versus now I don't put it on my forehead. I found out that if I keep my forehead pretty matte, that throughout the day I'll get like a natural highlights, I guess through like my facial oils. I know that sounds like crazy and like kind of gross, but it just looks better that way. And especially if you're breaking out, like you don't want to put it on your forehead. It was looking a little too, what's the word, like reflective? Like it just didn't look like it blended well. So I no longer put it on my forehead. And once I'm pretty good with that, I'm going to do my blush, and I'm just gonna take this e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. It's just like a really hard, like almost like a kabuki brush. And I'm going to use the Maybelline Master Highlight Face Studio. It's a highlighting blush. A piece of it just fell out. This is number 10, the color Nude. So it has like blushy tones, but it also has like a highlighter. I'm just gonna swirl some on the brush and tap it off. And I'm also going to try to focus this towards the outer corner of my cheekbones and then blend it out towards the apple of my cheekbones. And I do a little bit on my nose just because I saw somebody on TikTok do it and I thought it was kind of cute. And you also can kind of put it under your eyes a little bit, just like before. But try not to get it right here. Just keep it like on the outer edge. And this just blends so well into the highlighter whenever you do it this way. Now this is something that I discovered, I guess, as far as the order of the products, but I'm sure other people know it too. It's not like I came up with this. Okay. And once I'm good with that, you got all this beautiful color and coverage up here. You can't forget about under like your cheekbones and all that good stuff. So I'm gonna go back in with my powder, and instead of carving out my cheeks, I'm just going to kind of pat it and dust it in. And I'm gonna go underneath my jaw too. If you do a super thin layer of powder, you can actually go over your whole face without altering any of the color from the blush and contour, and without making it look super muddy. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. And if you put contour on your neck, you want to make sure that you put a little bit of powder on your neck as well. You really just want to set it and make everything blend really nice into each other for a seamless and flawless finish. And right here, I'm going to do a layer of setting spray and then do a little bit more setting powder underneath my eyes, because setting spray, of course, is meant to make your makeup last, but it can also re-wet it after you just set it. So I'm gonna put some of this on and then set my under eyes again. So once that is completely dry, I'll take just a little bit of powder on the tip of the sponge and just focus it underneath my eye. Still doing like a triangle shape, but a mini triangle shape. And making sure that you pat it in really good. That way it's blended into everything else. And if you wear glasses like I do, make sure you kind of focus it on like where your glasses would sit on your nose. All right, and I'm basically done with the powders and setting my face. So now I'm just going to darken up my eyebrows and create more of like an ombre look. I just take another angled brush and I take a dark brown eyeshadow and just kind of outline the outer portion of my brow. This is also where you can kind of rebuild your brow if you concealed it a little too thin. But also, since you set your brows with the setting powder, this is where you can darken that back up as well. And I don't do the full brow, I just do probably the outer 2/3 of it. And then just to make sure that it's just super blended and flawless, I'll take that same brush and just kind of rake it in between. Boom, and we're done. So once you're done with that, since this is an everyday look, I'm not going to do too crazy of an eyeshadow look. I'm gonna keep it pretty neutral. I tend to use more like shimmer based colors, I guess, more like sparkly colors, if you will, whenever I'm doing like an everyday look. And neutrals honestly work best for me. I just think that neutrals just look better on my eye color. So we're going to use the ColourPop Feeling Bubbly palette. We're going to use the bottom middle color called Urbane, and it's like a bronzy, brownish, kind of glittery color. I'm just going to apply this with my finger to just my lid. And I do put on a few layers just to kind of pack the color on. And yes, I do blow off my finger just like I do a brush, because you don't want to have too much fallout, since this is a shimmer color and I did underneath my eye matte. And I'll just kind of put like 3 layers of this on here. And if you know me, you know that I am a sucker for inner corner highlight. So to make it pop, I will take just a tiny bit of that e.l.f. concealer, tiny bit on my finger. I'm about to show y'all what I do. I just learned this recently. This wasn't anything that I saw on TikTok. It's just something that I just thought to do. I'm gonna kind of use it as a base. A super, super thin layer, and just kind of dab it in the inner corners. You're just dabbing it, you're not really blending it out. And I'm gonna show you why in just a second. So once it feels like it's like pretty dry on all of the powders and everything, take the shimmer color called Pop Off and take that on my finger, blow it off, and just press it into that inner corner. And it makes it show up so vibrant. And I'll just kind of blend it out with my finger. I love inner corner shimmer or inner corner highlights. Can't even talk today. I think it looks so cute, and it just really makes the look. And sometimes, like I said, I'll just take that little fluffy brush and just kind of blend it up and into the brown shade. And there we go. And then next, I'm just going to do my eyeliner. Right now, I'm using the Revlon Color Stay liquid eyeliner in the color Blackouts. And I'm just going to do my normal winged liner. Probably gonna do that off camera and then come back, because I hold my mirror really close to my face, and there's no point in like doing it on camera if I'm just gonna go like this. So I'm gonna do that off camera, and I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, I'm back, and I know this light is kind of like hitting a little different right now. It is 6:15 and the sun is kind of going down. I promise my like face is blended. It just looks real crazy right now. But while I was off camera, I went ahead and did my eyeliner, and I put on my lashes too, because I normally do that off camera, and figured I might as well go ahead and do that. So I did that, and the only thing left for my everyday makeup look is my lip combo. Now, sorry for the sniffles. One of my most favorite lip liners, which by the way, once I started using lip liner, I have never turned back, girl. I love the NYX Professional Lip Pencil in the color Nude Beige. This is one of my faves, definitely an everyday go-to. I'm gonna go ahead and line my lips real quick. So I line my lips and I kind of shade it a little bit from like the outer corners inwards, but I don't cover my entire lip because we are now going to go in with the Sephora lipstick in the color 1349C. I don't think that there's like a specific like name for it, but it's basically just a nude. And I'm so sorry for the sniffles, y'all. I just kind of put it in the middle. And just blend it out with my lips. And I can't find a super pale nude that's like skin tone color that's not peachy or orange or brown. So this is the closest that I have gotten. And we're just gonna have to go back to the old days where we use concealer. So I'm gonna take the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the color Fairest. And I do use this only for my lips, so don't worry. I have multiple of these. So I'm gonna take a little bit, squeeze it, and just kind of dab it in the middle. And just kind of blend it out with my lips. Sometimes it will go inside your mouth, so I'm just wiping it off. Sometimes I will take my finger and blend it. And once that's blended, I do top it off with a lip gloss. I can't find my normal go-to lip gloss, so we're just going to use the Revlon Snow Pink lip gloss. I normally use either a clear, soft pink, something along those lines. Start in the middle. And I don't really like this brush, but it is what it is. And now let's just take down my crazy hair. I didn't really do my hair, so we're just gonna have to, it just is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. Fluff out the curlies. Okay, and I think we are done. I'm probably gonna have to move this camera because the way that the sun is right now is not complimenting me, girl. And you can put another layer of setting spray on too, since you are now completely done with your look. Okay, girl, so you are super duper close to me. Let me just kind of show you my makeup. I think the skin is skinning, y'all. The skin is it skinning? I think this looks way better than my last look, y'all. I am really proud of myself. I feel like I've definitely, there's a hair on me. I feel like I've definitely gotten so much better at doing my makeup, and I think that this turned out really good. But yeah, y'all, this is my go-to, like, super glam. I guess full coverage, you could consider it, but super girly, flirty, and cute. Nude kind of color base. And yeah, I really hope y'all enjoyed this video, and let me know in the comments like what y'all think. Like, did I kill it or what? Did I do the thing? Did I do the thing? Because I really think that I did so much better than my last makeup video. But yeah, y'all, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe because I feel like this video deserves it. And if y'all love me, because I love you too. So I really hope that you love me as much as I love you. Please follow me on all social medias. Obviously, I'm on YouTube because that's where we're at right now. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and Threads. My name is the same all across the board, official.itstay, I-T-S-T-A-Y. So go ahead and follow me, show me some love, especially if y'all like this video, okay? So anyways, that's all I have for today, y'all. Again, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I love you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.